All right, let's get this going. Stubble's still chilling here, I see. Awesome. Let's do some final checks here. Gotta see the up-and-coming artist. Nice. Gotta scout the enemy. Do it. Kill me. Do it. Come on. Just for you, Stubbles. Alright, we might have one more person posting. I'm just gonna see what he's typing. We don't have very many tonight, so we'll see what happens. Come on, Stubbles. Get to the chopper. Come on. Get to the chopper. Do it. Do it. Wait, what? Sure, Killian. I mean, so what I'll do is I'll go through these that I have, and then if we still have time, I'll go back and start looking at the other stuff. Let's do it. Okay, so Armed Armpit posting the goods here. So got some pretty good ref. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it'll be okay as long as I keep up at this pace. It'll give everyone a chance to have a critique, which is good. Okay, I need my epic pen. Epic pen. You gotta get that epic pen. All right, so first off, that statue is fucking cool. Make sure to get the Goku action going on with how it's curving. Some action like that. Boom, boom. Okay, overall, I think the composition of the scene is pretty strong as far as like how you're placing stuff. You're going off of this concept, it looks like. From this angle, the rocks up here look really weird. But it's going to depend a lot on the angle that you're going for with your shots. The reason I'm saying that looks really weird is the way that these are. Oh, what was that? Oh my God, Stubbles! Stop it, dude! You paid for the. Oh my God. You paid for the substance too, man. What are you doing? I'm gathering this. I'm gathering the money you're giving me so I can fly you over here and make you work for me. Oh God. Time to get that new camera. Dude, is it actually full? No. Is it? Did that go over? I don't know if it totaled in yet. Oh yeah, we got some more art too. Okay. Almost. Work, 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 work. Okay. Compositionally, super strong. The reason these rocks look weird is because they're rounding. You see how that's happening there? The reason it looks weird, you can see it here too, the fact that they're going up like that. So if you look at this scene here, I mean, obviously this is that a real picture? That's like ridiculous. Looks like it might be a couple things comped together, but man, that's cool. So let's get in nice and close on that. Before we talk about the rocks, I want to say that the building looks like it's coming along nicely. Shapes, everything looks pretty good. It looks like you're figuring out all the details, and the guy's blocked out right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. Do you have him duplicated on the other side? Yes, you do. Yep. Don't forget these streamers when you get to it. Those are going to be really nice for the composition. Yeah, I'm going to have to remember that. Can you message me that location? That's sick. So, let me scale this down a little bit, just so we can get the whole shot in there. Okay, so compositionally, or structurally, how these rocks are put together is you have this curved look going on right there. You can't see that very well. Maybe a blue will work. Yeah, a little. Yellow? Yeah, okay. So you have this curve going into the ceiling here. So this can be a mesh, right? If you look at it like this. I'm just going to break down how I would build this. So I would probably break it here, but then line those up really close together so that they're kind of overlapping. So then you don't even see that there's a gap there. And that probably happens over here too, which means you could probably make this piece and then make this piece and mirror them. But the reason I wanted to draw these out is because the shapes that you end up seeing, like that, these are all like following that same. See, and then you have the background element here. This is angled. Then you have the rounded piece. And then when these go up, these are all doing this. You're not seeing the layers here because this is like the underside. So that's like one sheared layer. And then this piece actually looks separate from this piece over here, but you can also see the lines in this. Where you will see the lines on these guys is, let me erase some of this. Where you will see the lines is here. Going up like that. So that's kind of like that's like the layers of sediment or the layers of the rock. You can see it down here too. This is just rounding and cutting of the layers. So yeah, just think about giving areas where you have this and then a smooth area for when it goes under. And then maybe you can do this, and then where it breaks, you can go up again. So like having this is good, and then maybe having it smooth out and then go over it a bit more and then go up. So this goes towards you a little bit and then goes up again, and then you can get the lines there. That way you get some visual breakup, and it's not a lot of trying to explain the direction of the rocks. I would do that with a bunch of meshes. So like this would be one mesh. This would probably be a duplicate of this one. And then I would make this piece its own. This piece and this piece would probably be the same. It's like a smiley face with like boobies. But yeah, don't be afraid to make multiple meshes. It's totally fine. If you wanted to as well, you can make this piece its own and this piece its own. I know you're not trying to replicate this identically or make a duplicate of this, but like the way that the scene is in here, you're going to be orchestrating a lot of the pieces. Another Santa, Santa's wife. Overall, this is looking pretty solid though. That back rock wall is going to be a pretty key element. Remember too, maybe do a lighting pass, like an initial lighting pass, and see how much of that you're actually seeing. It might actually be quite dark, and then maybe it won't even matter what's in the end, it doesn't even matter. Maybe. Okay. Sick tire, bro. This is pretty cool. This is by, let me scroll up so I can double check and make sure, because we know how good I am at saying who made what. This is Joe. After a bit of a crit before texturing, I like to add adding text on the wall of the tire. Easier, save to last. Yeah, so all these pieces look like they're floating. They're just floating shapes. Yeah, sorry, before we move on, armpit, sir, you can probably make that whole scene with maybe like 5 rock pieces, maybe less, 4. 3 is cutting it pretty tight without making it look repetitive. I would go with 4 and make one of those 4 quite unique and probably have a large area of rest, which is kind of like that under that big curved surface that's kind of smoother. So what I would suggest is these little pieces here. Right now they're floating like they're separate, right? So you're getting these nice hard edges here between all of your pieces. I would suggest bringing all of this into ZBrush and running a Dynamesh master on it, and just getting those all welded together as a single mesh. And that means that you could actually do your text here, right? Din is, no, we won't say awesome. That's too much. We can't say awesome. We can say dope. Dope. So you could make your text floating as well. Push it into the tire, bring that in with the Dynamesh, and then run the pass. Then you can just run a smooth on top of that. Actually, we got a little bit of time, so I can just show you. I can show you the things. Dope as fuck. So let's say, actually, oh god. Let's just bring this up. Let's bevel this, add a couple round edges, there's like, oh shit, how many is that? Just do. So we'll leave that hard edge as well. So I'm just making some random shape here. Let's inset this just so we don't have to worry about some things. I won't make round text because that's going to take time that we shouldn't concentrate on. Where is the text tool? We'll just go to the default UI so I can get to it faster. If I can get to the default UI. Okay, so we got this. Let's basics, text. Then, oh, Jesus Christ. Then. There it is. Thicken, where are you at? Mesh edit. Deform. I'm like, what? Hang on. There we go. Okay, so this is your text, right? Let's rotate this. Scale it down. Let's push this up. Scale a little bit. Okay. So good and not centered and awesome. Oh. Oh. Oh, God damn it. It's like, triangulate your shit, man. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the chat. I'll look at chat real quick. Hey, what's up, Jet? What's going down? Import. Yeah. Did it work? Kinda. Works for me. Okay, bottom's not good, but this is enough to show it. Okay, so if I press Control F, you're gonna want to subtool. Oh, sorry. You're gonna want to polygroups. You want to auto group, and then with auto group on, you can Control Shift and tap things to hide other stuff. So you can see now we have the font by itself. We want to split hidden, which gives us two subtools. Go to this one, we'll divide it a couple times. Wow, that's looking great. We won't worry about that. Okay. Geometry. We don't want dynamic dividing, we just want to make it. So that's 3 times. We'll do 4 times so that we're just. So, okay, so see the text, if we take the text, now that we've divided this sum, we merge this down. Merge down. Okay, so now they're 1. This plugin right here, Decimation Master, or Dynamesh Master, you can Dynamesh it with no blur. Hit Dynamesh. Let it churn through that. We'll see how this goes. Alright, so now they're welded together, and you can see on the edge between them, they're all nice and tidy. Then you can just hold Shift and you can soften however much you want of that. I would suggest for a uniform soften to use deformation, and then polish to get a uniform bevel to everything. And there's your text like embedded into the mesh. Yeah, it's awesome. And if you're not getting good polish results, you can also polish by groups. We'll see it polish the edge there, but it tighten the edges on the groups themselves. There's also polish crisp edges, so it will just polish where there's sharp edges. Super handy. It's even retaining the polygroups, which is super awesome. Mind blown. Yeah, it's really nice. Anyways, okay. Onward and forward. So I would do that with these. Make sure you don't bring the bolts or anything else that you want to get crazy bevels on. And make sure these little edges get bevels if you're going to bake this stuff out. All right. We got, I don't know how to say man from Venice. Is it Demanio? Francine? Totally wrong, I'm sure. Sure of it. I've seen this before. This looks familiar. So, hey there. So I started 3D like 7 months ago, and I'm trying to get my first job in the industry. Any crit would help a lot. I have a lot to learn. Wannabe environment artist. Dude, we're all wannabe environment artists. It's okay. That includes me, because you're never good enough. That's just how it works. So right now, your scenes or your portfolio, I like the top banner thing, and I'm wondering where that's at in this. Is it in this scene? Where'd those candles come from? Anywho, okay, so you have props. You have this space car thing. This thing looks pretty cool. What I would do, so I'm gonna look at this as really high level. Really, really high level. We're not gonna go in like very specific details. So with this scene, I would definitely keep this. I would take another pass on the lighting. This one's super bright, and you have some hard edge there. This one's a little better. Lighting-wise, it's a lot better. And besides the rubble, I would definitely start to break up the floor more and break up the wall in the back, like even if it's just in the textures, the tiles chipping and falling down and stuff like that. I really like this render as well. And then in your shapes, make sure to tighten those up just a little bit. It feels pretty soft. So like when the lighting hits it, it's really soft looking. Whereas like up here, these are really sharp, and I would bevel those or push those details. Hang on. What is happening? Feels right. We're going with this summer feels from last year. So, other than that, I really like what's happening in here, and I like that there's text on here. Death Machine. Your other stuff, the guns, I would, if you want to be an environment artist, I would put the guns in like another folder or like a side project thing. Maybe a folder that just says like other things that I work on, or put them in a blog. I would love if Artstation made a blog tab. A group project I can't show. Oh, sorry. Maybe later. With the candle thing. So the car, I would remove that just because it doesn't make sense for an environment artist. This one's okay because there's a huge environment. The rock is cool. I want to see a scene using this stuff. And then I would like to suggest that you work on the hard edges that a rock has, so that you can layer them properly. I'm gonna be very honest, and you might hate me for it. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. Right now, these look like they look like slabs of like meat, like frozen patties. Kind of making me hungry, which is weird. But yeah, that just takes practice. You can get it. Rocks, they have like a specific way they break and how they're layered. Like, and I can see you're trying to do the layered stuff. You just need to make sure that the edges are nice and hard edged with how they break apart. This scene is pretty strong. I really like this one. I would put some stuff under the window for like the age, considering everything's so aged. I would take a really good look at your roughness for the paint here. I would expect the paint to be much more reflective. Gordon Ramsay would go nuts. Or would he? I don't know. Yeah, rocks are deceptively tough. It's difficult. Rocks are a pain in the ass. You can have a rock that looks perfect, but if you rotate it wrong, broken. Just looks wrong. It's like it's not supposed to be used in that angle or something. The details look really nice here. I would pay attention to maybe how dark the metals are here. And then how uniform this breakup is on the walls. I would control that with either a vertex paint or map it so that there's there's dripping from the ceiling or like some kind of gunky stuff, try and use decals and place on the walls to kind of break up those patterns. And vertex paint to control where it's chipping like this and where it isn't. These little tassel things or whatever they are on the handles feel really strange to me. I probably just wouldn't have them there because they're hard to explain what they are for their size and like that they're on every, like I'm not sure, are those tassel things? I don't know. And then there's like one missing on each one, which I'm guessing means that like you're trying to show that they're missing. And oh, Adam, I'm sorry, man. You were excited to be watching it live for once. It's like, what's up, man? How you doing? It's live. What? What the fuck? What? What's happening? Overall, this scene's pretty cool though. The trim on the bottom feels like it might be getting squished a little bit, and there's an edge here. I'm not sure what that is. It's weird to me. In general, though, I mean this is looking cool. I would reapproach. See, in this angle, that's a better render than this one. This one's real time, I take it, and then this one's like a actual render. See, the wall looks stronger here. The splotchiness on the walls kind of feels weird. I think it just looks like a really low res noise mask for your roughness. And then I'd kick up the roughness a bit on the paint. But yeah, the metal looks better here too. You see how like lighter it is compared to up here. These are just really dark. And then your curtain feels really low res. I would try and figure out what's happening with the wrinkly stuff, or like these little tessellation bumps it looks like to the wrinkles. Love the painting. Love the painting. Is that Snow White? Oh, she's so cute. All right, onward. Onward and forward. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is bad. Computer's choking. Why is the computer choking? Is the stream okay? Stream's okay. Yeah, I would make the last one first. Remove the rocks. Remove the car. Here, I'll just do this. So what you want to do is, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this. This and then we'll do this. So I'd make this one. Make this 1, 2, 3, 4. No, scratch the fourth one. 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you want to keep the guns, then you put them in, at the end. Make this one 9. Make this one 8. The other thing too is I would take this scene and take all these props. Let me see if you did it in here. No, you didn't. Okay, take all those props and break them down in here. Like the final image after this one should be break down stuff like this. Like this is super nice. Like that looks awesome. Like this looks great. I would push just so that you get some more range on your roughness, I would push your paint roughness up so that it's a bit more reflective. I would also tighten the roughness up on this. Dude, there are drawers on both sides. Is that so you can reuse it? So you can turn it around and then put it against the wall like this, and then in another room put it in a wall against like that. Super cool. Oh, I wanted to rotate that. Ah, tricked. Yeah, this looks cool too. The breakup is a little odd, and then like I guess that could be okay. I would maybe either overall lighten the tone of the wood in this area or darken it just for showing usage. I put a little metal plate here, just something to help them do things. Got him. What? The dresser thing's an amazing idea. What you should do normally in this... Yeah, I tried to rotate that one again. So in this case, I would take this one. God, Artstation's terrible for scrolling once you have one of these active. I would set these drawers up to be movable through a blueprint in Unreal. So you can expose sliders so that you can move the drawers in and out, and then move sliders to open these or close these. There's ways to do that where you basically give it pivots in the blueprint, and then you can just move stuff around and close things. But yeah, okay, we've pushed on this one for a while. Make sure to put a little point here for the little button thing. Last one we'll look at, and then I'll move on to the next things. I would look at, so the roughness of this is really high. I would look at how roughness on leather tends to look, and then also just add more geo. Like right now it's really low. You could probably, is there a wire in here? Yes, there is. You could probably, in that whole back area, you could probably double or triple that just to help get that depth. And when you add that geo, you can also push these in. Like that'll give you all the more volume. Steam too strong. Steam too strong. Horse. Loving the detail. Arthur always comes in here. This is Arthur, right? Always comes in here. Yeah. Drops character stuff because he knows I can't critique it. So, this is floating, dude. No. I'll look at this because, I mean, that horse looks pretty good. I would check the creases on the muscle here. Maybe just make sure they're not too crazy. Something's peeking there. I can see it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, this horse looks awesome, though. And the detail of all of, like, how these are connected is really good. Legend. Love the nostril. No idea why. Looks good, man. I'll clear this so people can look at it. All these details here look great. Look really good. The layering of all of these elements, I would suggest giving a little bit more thickness to them, just so we can see the depth of them, right? Like, see how much layering is happening. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. The pull on this is really nice because it lets you know how heavy this is. And I maybe suggest making the leather piece here a little bit thicker as well. Overall looking pretty nice though. Nice rope as well, and this detail is pretty cool. I maybe exaggerate this a bit more, just so that it's more prominent. Overall, nice stuff though, man. Super, super nice. This looks like ZBrush. You doing this in ZBrush, man? You crazy. You crazy. All right, onward. My phone is lighting up. What's happening? It's Max? Dude, that looks like ZBrush, man. This is like, it looks like you're using the tool where, I mean, I see this, but it looks like you're modeling these using the mesh splines in ZBrush, where you have a beginning and an end, and then you have these. Just looks like it. All right. This is from Durka. This is looking pretty cool. This one's gonna be hard to critique because there's a lot of things that we can point to aid in direction. Let's see here. So with these trees, I would definitely look into filling them out more or looking at the ref to add, to understand like what needs to be added. Like if I use a black, I bet that'll be a black pen that'll be clearer. So adding some details like more branches and stuff is just going to fill these out more and tend to make them look more natural. And then down below, there's going to be some little shorter extra ones and single branches because those ones just don't get enough sunlight. How much time do we have left? We don't have much time left. It looks like I won't be able to get to the people that are posting after the critique started. Although, Killian, I will say that rock looks pretty damn good. You're getting good at those guys. Blue, you should still post an art thing and request critiques because there's people in there all around. What's up, Gabe? How's my voice sound, Gabe? You liking that? You liking that voice? How does it feel now? Dude, super deep. Oh, shit. The flatness of the ground, well, this will happen. I would totally start bringing some buildings forward, some buildings back. Like, if you look from a top-down view, right now you have this. When you could do things like this, or like build a courtyard, you can do stuff like that. And then like maybe you can put a fountain here. You have like your walkway, like this here. So you could like cut this in, put a fountain, take this guy, put him here. Little door steps, some of them, maybe the doors like lift the building so that they're higher and then give them like a base. And then you have steps coming down. Like you need to start filling this out with a ton of little props. But in general, this is looking pretty good. We need to look at breaking up the shapes that are making it look like it's geometry. Because there's key elements that make stuff look 3D. Like, for example, like this hard edge. Hard edges in general, like you could take this and just dip it a bit. Or make it irregular. Like that. That'll go a really long way. And be careful with the angle of these trees. Being kind of like doing this. Because these trees in general tend to be, this type of tree just tends to be straight up. Like this. Like you have going here. It's good. And then look at adding some other elements. You have flowers that are throughout. Try and do flower patches, like areas where there's a bunch of them, or like the same density, but they're kind of throughout those patches. That'll go the distance for you in helping with logic and such for how plants grow. Later, Lewis. Yeah, planters are a great idea. The other thing too is some other elements like either rocks and then some bushes around it. Let's do a different. So these are rocks, blue for rocks, just to break up the edge. And then add some bushes, doing like this. Some other type of tree, maybe a smaller ones that are closer by. And then vary up your grass height and try not to make your grass all curved in the same angles. Like have some that are straight and then taper out like that. And then maybe you have another version where you do that more, where it's more curved like how you have, and then you can intermix between the two so that you can get some variety. But yeah, I will stick with that for now. This birch substance is super nice, man. This is by Nathan, showing us some magic. So when I was looking at it initially here, it didn't really feel right, and I think it was because it looks squashed. But in here, it looks like you've changed the tiling, and I think what's making this work is you have these shapes, these larger shapes, right, accompanied by these little tiny ones. Those little tiny ones and the breakup of the larger ones. This one especially I really like. But you have some really good variety going on. And the white isn't just like that white birch. It's also got like, I don't know if you guys can see there's like a darkening that's happening on the white itself. And then right where it's about to break, oh man, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can see it in this. No, you can't really see it in that. So I'm gonna zoom in. It's gonna be super pixelated. So you see how it's getting darker? Right before it chips away, it gets light again, right on the edge there. Super, super nice. Because it just shows, interaction between how the material is interacting with where it's chipping and where the birch is, and it's just good. It's good. You have a lot of elements that are all interacting with each other in logical ways, which is selling the feel. Very, very nicely done. I think possibly one of the best birches I've seen, birch wood materials in substance I've seen so far. If you've got some really good ones, you should show us of other people or examples. This looks, I mean, this is solid, man. Super, super solid. Yeah, that looks dope. Looks dope. I don't think you need to do these. Just a FYI. Where's the tire at? From Joe. I mean, unless you're gonna do some renders, nice close-ups, you won't need to worry about those. That's pretty cool that you're looking into it though. That means you're aware of your details. All right, on to Tobias. Last one, and then I gotta roll. So, remember I had said, oh yeah, you should look into building out the rest of your stuff before continuing on to the detailing like this. Look at this guy. What a badass. Got his lily pad pass in. It looks like he's been placing all the materials in. He's got an animated GIF here. Oh, so good. Tobias, if you're in chat and you've got a bigger GIF of this, oh no, this works. A little blurry, but man, that is great, dude. I would say maybe if you do a little bit less of the particles. Hey, what's up, 404? So I wouldn't say less particles, I mean less density. So see how you've got some that are streaming off? If these, let them go up and then go a direction. So they're going to the side, and they're kind of like dispersing and separating and then kind of going off. Dude, it's totally got an orb vibe to it, for sure. This is looking really solid, though. I like what you're doing with the lily pads. So lily pads tend to be, they look really flat when you make them in game art. So I'd look at maybe pushing the middle down a little bit, even if it's just in the normal map, and just kind of like, so like push the middle down here and give it some room to lift and then come back down. And then maybe randomize, if you can, randomize like a vertex painted mask that cuts away some of the edges. So you can get your lily pads that do this. So you got your lily pads like this, and then wherever you want, you can vertex paint cuts or little chips out of them, little pieces that are missing. That'll really help like sell the shape of the lily pads. Yeah, this is looking solid though. Let me see if I can back up here. Yeah, this is looking really good. Here's the concept for anyone who's curious as well. So that's the daytime shot. And here's the nighttime shot. So the other thing, let's see here. So your lily pads are doing it with the scale, but they seem to be the ones, there seems to be a greater change between the scale of them. So like the smaller ones, I would take those and shrink them down by just a little bit more. What's up, Barbarian? We're about to end, man. I'm sorry. But this is looking sick, man. This is looking, I mean, the colors are lining up pretty well. Maybe you could use a little bit more yellow. But you could do that in the lights so they get that kind of glow. Make sure any lily pads that you get close to these buildings that you start adding some like little extra lights to help not do a broad illumination of it, but like those little edge highlights if possible. That can get difficult. With these ones, oh man, that edge. Hang on here. Oh Jesus. So with these edge ones, you could, for the composition, put a point light behind the wall and start bringing it around the wall until you see the edge highlight start to happen, and then just leave it there. And then just make sure it's not touching anything else and it's just edge highlighting this. You get some nice effects from that. What else are we looking at here? Make sure to get a normal map of the edge of the water that you can just place on top of the water. That kind of does the rim light. That just kind of does the ripple as if the water's meeting the building and then kind of rippling away. You would just, I think you would just model it like maybe about that far out. And then you would just animate the ripple coming off of the building going this direction. So it would just kind of be, and it would just distort the water just a little bit right on the edge. That'll go a long way. Long way. Let's see if he's doing it in the concept. There's a, yeah, he's got the little ripple there. You could do something more interesting with the way that your lily pads are placed, because in this concept, it's pretty evenly dispersed. Think about smaller ones kind of accumulating near the edge of things, like the edge of buildings and stuff, and then like having patches where it's pretty dense like this, and then having 3 or 4 of the lit ones. Flow maps can definitely work for the ripples. It'd be good. It'd be good. Anyways, I am going to get out of here, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the donations. You guys are ridiculous. Means a lot. Oh, he is in Unity. That sly dog. Looks great, man. I'm going to get out of here. I will check you guys later. Stubbles, thank you very much. Another shout out to all the peeps. Stubbles, thank you for the donation. Life, thank you. JM79, 3D Kyle, and Nathan with the big 40 euros. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for hanging out. Zolizo. I'll see you guys in the 3D world. Oh, does this work? What's happening here? Oh man. Dude, the art looks so crazy now. Dope. All right. Peace, guys. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye. Oh yeah, you can enjoy one more song as well.